Okay, today's lesson is Module 1, Lesson 9. And we will be learning how to add decimals using place value strategies and relate those strategies to a written method. Okay, so let's start. You'll have a sprint in class and talk about decomposing in class. I'm going to review how we round to different place values using the vertical number line. This was the previous 2 lessons we've done. So, first thing I want to do is I'm going to decompose. Let's round this to the nearest tenth place. Okay, so because I'm rounding to the tenth place, I want to stop at the tenth. So I'm going to put this together. So I'm going to decompose using 24 tenths, 7 hundredths, 5 thousandths. Now in yesterday's lesson, what we did was we decomposed 4 different ways. Well, what I'm hoping that you're starting to see is the best way that you can decompose. Meaning, if I need to start with, if I'm rounding to the 10th place, I'm simply going to go to the 10th place and put everything in front of it together and then start my decomposing. That way I don't have to decompose 4 different ways. But if 4 ways helps you and then you figure out what you need, do it that way. Now that I have my decomposed tenths, I'm going to draw my number line. In the middle, I'm going to put my number that I'm rounding to and 475 thousandths. I know that I'm either going to stay at 24 tenths or I'm going to go up to 25 tenths. Okay. Remember that extra. We're comparing it to the midpoint. Remember, our midpoint is going to be 5 hundredths. Is 7 hundredths greater than or less than 5 hundredths? Hopefully you said it's greater than. And because it's greater than, it means we're going to round up to 25 tenths. So that tells me that my number of 2 and 475,000 rounds to 2 and 5 tenths. Okay, this was our previous 2 lessons. We decomposed, set up our number line. It either stayed 24 tenths or it went up to 25 tenths. We looked at our extra, which is greater than our midpoint of 5. So we had to round up. We're going to do a fluency that says 1 unit more. So all we're doing is looking at the unit that's given, and you will give me 1 unit more. Hopefully you will say these with me. So looking at what I have on the board, 1 unit more would be 6 tenths. 1 unit more, 6 hundredths. 1 unit more, 6 thousandths. 1 unit more, 9 hundredths. 1 unit more, 4 tenths. 1 unit more, 3 thousandths. 1 unit more, 53 thousandths. Okay. Let's get into our lesson. Our lesson today is, I think it's pretty simple. We're simply adding decimals. We're starting with uniform and a place value chart. I'm going to show you how to put your digits in their place value and add them up. The first key fact, the key point of this lesson is remembering that you can only add together like units, meaning I can only add tenths with tenths. Like units are what we can put together. You can't take tenths and hundredths and try to put them together because they're 2 different units. Okay, so keep that in mind. Have to be like units. So let's start with 2 tenths. I simply put my 2 in the 10th place, my 6 in the 10th place. So those are 2 different numbers. So 2 tenths plus 6 tenths would give us 8 tenths. And when I write it in standard form, simply drop my decimal, and I can put my 0 on the ones as we've been doing. So 2 tenths plus 6 tenths equal 8 tenths. Notice how my units stayed the same. Tenths, tenths, tenths. Okay, pretty simple. Notice we have 2 ones, 3 thousandths, plus 6 ones, 1 thousand. So I'm going to put them in their place values. We've got 2 in the ones place. The 3 goes all the way down here in the thousandths place. Plus, we've got 6 in the ones place. 1 in the thousandths place. Look familiar? I'm going to put zeros as placeholders. Now I have an algorithm. 2 and 3 thousandths plus 6 and 1 thousand. Notice I'm adding the ones with the ones, the tenths with the tenths, the hundreds with the hundreds, the thousands with the thousands. Remember when we add, we always start at the end. Please don't ever start with the greatest place value. When we add and subtract, we start with the smallest place value. That's to the right. So 3 plus 1 gives us 4 in the thousandths. 0 plus 0 gives us 0 in the hundreds. 0 plus 0 gives us 0 in the tenths. Drop my decimal. 6 plus 2 gives us 8 in the ones. Okay. Notice we added the ones plus the ones, tenths plus the tenths, the hundreds plus the hundreds, thousands plus the thousands. Key concept. Add like units, line those decimals up. Okay, now we have 2 tenths, 5 thousandths plus 6 hundredths. So we got 2 in the tenths, 5 in the thousandths. Notice we skipped the hundreds, so we're going to put our placeholder. Plus 6 in the hundreds. Put my placeholder. I'm going to make it look even. Notice the whole purpose of this is to get my decimals lined up. Because once my decimals are lined up, that means my tenths are with my tenths, my hundreds are with my hundreds, and my thousands are with my thousands. Remember, I told you to always add or subtract starting on the right side of the problem. So we're going to start with the 5 plus 0, which is 5 in the thousandths. 0 plus 6, which is 6 in the hundreds. 2 plus 0, which is 2 in the tenths. Drop my decimal. Notice how the 6 did not get combined with the 2 or the 5. And the reason I could not combine the 6 with the 2 was because they're in 2 different units, 2 different place values. I can't combine hundreds and tenths. I couldn't combine the 6 with the 5 because they're in 2 different place values. You can't combine hundreds with the thousands. Okay. Now we're starting to move into our standard form, and we're going to add it to our unit form. So we have 1 and 8 tenths. Now we got 13 tenths. Now I'm not going to put that whole 13 in this one place value. I'm going to let my 3 stay in the tenths, and that 1 has to shift over. There is our algorithm. Notice my decimals are lined up. Now I have the tenths with the tenths, the ones with the ones. Okay. 8 plus 3 is 11. We cannot sit both of those digits in this one place value. Only one of the ones can stay, but the other one has to shift. There's my 11. Now 1 plus 1 plus 1 gives us 3. Drop our decimal, so we get 3 and 1/10. Okay. Once again, key concepts. Line those decimals up. You can only add like units, which means tenths to tenths, ones to ones. Okay, now we have 100, 8 hundredths plus 2 ones, 4 hundredths. So I'm going to put my 1 in the hundreds place. My 8 in the hundredths place is a decimal. Notice I skipped 3 place values. Simple fix. All I need is placeholders. There's my number. Plus, I need 2 ones, and I need 4 hundredths. I skipped the place value, so I'm going to put a placeholder. I can always put placeholders to make my my numbers look even with digits. 5 digits at the top, 5 digits at the bottom. Notice I lined my decimals up, so now I have my hundreds with the hundreds, tenths with the tenths, ones with the ones, tens with the tens, hundreds with the hundreds. Now I'm ready to add. 8 plus 4 is 12. Remember, we cannot put two digits in one place, right? So my 2 can stay, but my 1 has to shift. So there's my 12. 1 plus 0 gives us 1. Drop that decimal. 0 plus 2 gives us 2. 0 plus 0 gives us 0. 1 plus 0 gives us 1. So there's my answer. Plain and simple. Line your decimals up. Combine like units. That's the key to adding. Okay? Now we have 148 thousandths plus 7 ones, 13 thousandths. Well, notice they gave us unit form. I'm not going to put all 3 digits in this one place value. So because I got thousandths and the 8 is right in front of it, that's what sits in that place value. So the 8 can stay in the thousandths, but the 4 has to shift and the 1 has to shift. So there's our number. Plus, I need 7 ones, 13 thousandths. Once again, that 3 can sit in the thousandths, but that 1 has to shift. Notice I have an empty space. Placeholder. I want them to look completely even, so I put another placeholder. There's our algorithm. Now that it's set up, we got our decimals in the same spot, and we have all of our units together. We can start adding. 8 plus 3 is 11. Remember, we do not put 2 digits in one place value. So 1 can stay, the other one must shift. 1 plus 4 plus 1 is 6. 1 plus 0 is 1. Drop my decimal. 0 plus 7 is 7. Okay. Now, straight standard form. Key to it, line your decimals up. 0, decimal, 7, 4, 0, decimal, 5, 9. And add it up. 9 plus 4 gives us 13. Remember, 2 digits cannot go in one place value. So my 3 can stay, my 1 has to go. 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 5 is 13. My 3 can stay, my 1 has to go. Drop my decimal. 1 plus 0 gives us 1. Okay. Nothing has changed with our addition. We already know how to add whole numbers. Adding decimals, the only thing that's different is now you have to line your decimals up. Once you line them up, it's just normal addition. Okay. Line up our decimals. 7 and 0, 4, 8, 5 and 1, 9, 6. Decimals are lined up, which means all of my place values are together. So I add. 8 plus 6 gives us 14. Cannot put 2 digits in one place. So my 4 can stay, my 1 must go. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 9 is 14. Put my 4, shift my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Drop my decimal. 7 plus 5 is 12. Remember, we cannot put 2 digits in one place value. So my 2 don't stay, but my 1 has to shift over to the next place value. Okay. Once again, key concepts. Line up your decimals. Add like units. 7, decimal, 4, 4. 0, decimal, 7, 7, 4. I can put a placeholder to make them look even. My decimals are lined up. I have all of my units together. Tenths plus tenths, hundreds plus hundreds, thousands plus thousands, ones plus ones. Now I'm ready to add. 0 plus 4 gives us 4. 4 plus 7 is 11. Can I put 2 digits in one place value? Drop 1, and bring my 1 next door. There's my 11. 7 plus 4 plus 1 gives us 12. Drop my 2, carry my 1. Drop my decimal. 7 plus 1 is 8. Addition is very simple. Okay. That wraps up our lesson for today. Today, we learned how to add decimals using place value strategies and relate those strategies to a written method. Key concepts to keep in mind when adding or subtracting decimals: line your decimals up. Keep like units together. Ones plus ones, tenths plus tenths, hundreds plus hundreds. Until next time.